What's up, Internet? I'm Tiana Cara, and you are watching Career Bound, brought to you by Built by Girls. I'm super excited to be following Kevin Love's speech, particularly because he is such a huge champion and advocate for mental health. And that's perfectly aligned with what we're talking about today. Today, our topic is navigating change. And we're here to give you the best advice we can around how to navigate the inevitable and not so inevitable changes that pop up in our professional and everyday lives. Lucky for you, though, you don't just get to hear from me, you also get to hear from my awesome co host. So, welcome, Maggie Stamets.
Hello, everyone. I'm also so glad to be here. I think we are all reeling from the constant change and uncertainty of this super weird time. At Built by Girls, our mission is to provide our community of female and non binary students with the tools they need to confidently step into their career. And I think it's safe to say no one is confidently stepping anywhere right now, especially not recent grads. So the idea today is to give you strategies that will keep you motivated and productive, even if you haven't landed that first job yet. And we're also going to give you some tools to help protect your mental health during this weird time. And stay tuned to the end because we're going to have a guest expert on to talk about how to protect your energy and remain positive, even through all of this negative change and uncertainty. But before we dive into all of that, Tiana, how have you been keeping your head on straight?
I'm surprised it's not cricket now. I'm working on that on a daily basis to keep it real. But my husband has been a huge support and has really kept me grounded. Also, connecting with my family and some of my best friends is really the glue that's keeping my mind together. We purposefully avoid talking about COVID-19 and talk about the lives we're living in spite of. We talk about how their babies are growing, and I learned about some really interesting recipes that they're cooking. I do not care anymore to learn about new bread recipes. Like, let's move forward, people. But I'm learning about shows that they're obsessed with. I'm just learning about their everyday life. So that's really helping me out. What about you, Meg?
Well, first of all, I love the idea of, learning about life in spite of COVID. That's really huge. But yeah, I have been really enjoying the outdoors. I'm lucky enough, I live in Denver where it is sunny pretty much every day. I know, brag. But it's been really important for me to turn off work at a certain point, close my laptop, take my dog for a walk, my dog Stuart. We go for a long walk every day, and it's a really good way to just go get some vitamin D, disconnect from work, get out of my space, and it has been really crucial in my routine to just feel good. But shall we get into it and give the people some helpful tips?
We shall. Let's do this. So, today, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about navigating change. But before I do that, I actually want to call something out that I didn't even know. There are actually many types of change, and really four most common ones. So, let me break those down for you. The first is deliberate change. So, let's say you're transitioning to a better job. The second is unexpected change. That could be like a layoff. There's also innovative change, like a promotion or a full on career shift altogether. And then the last one is crisis change. And I think we're pretty sure which one of the four we're experiencing right now. Is crisis change, just in case you didn't know. So, you know, our existence during this climate is tough, and trying to marry that with actually looking for a job is incredibly nerve-wracking. So Built by Girls is here to actually make that experience a little bit easier for you, to not feel so much like you're training for a marathon. We want to make it less stressful. So Maggie and I are here to take you through a few ways that you can actually do that, again, professionally and personally. So let's dive into the professional components. The first thing I want to talk to you about is this the importance of like really being mindful of your actions. And the first is the sunk cost delusion. So for many of you who've probably never heard of that before, I hadn't. The sunk cost delusion, let's say imagine a negative thought spiral that can often trap you into this natural loss aversion mode. An example of that could be, let's say you got tickets to go to a really awesome concert and the day of you get terribly sick, like really bad. You could weigh the potential loss of that ticket and as something that's incredibly valued, so you'll make the decision just to go to the show anyway. not realizing that you're not enjoying that experience. You feel awful. It was a poor choice in the end. So how that could relate to a job, let's say, is you hearing that many of your friends are losing out on internship opportunities. So you decide to not even apply for fear that, let's say, it'll get canceled or maybe get canceled midway through. The idea of a sunk cost is basically dwelling on what you might lose instead of really weighing the significance of what might be gained. We can often rationalize this way of thinking so you don't invest too much. But to be honest with you, you're weighing the losses and you're giving them far more significance than realizing the risk of what you could actually be missing out on if you just tried.
Yes, definitely. Your mindset is so huge. And, it's kind of hard to be like, just think more positively. So I have a tip that helps you actually get there. A way to really remain positive and aspirational is to assess your values and map out your dream job. So I know it's really uncomfortable right now, especially for all of you overachievers, to take a step back and take a break and try and make some plans. But it's a really good opportunity for you to map out what your ideal career looks like. So last week, Built by Girls hosted a Real Talk AMA on our Instagram with the amazing Kate Lee. She's a product manager, but she's gone through a lot of career changes herself, so she's kind of an expert in this topic. And she had an awesome idea that really stuck with me. So earlier I said dream job, and I know that everyone has one. Are you thinking of yours right now? Did it pop into your head? Okay, so let's think about, why is that your dream job? Is there prestige to working at that company? Do you really connect with the mission of that company? Maybe they let you bring dogs into the office. Or maybe that particular role is in really high demand, so it gives you some financial security. Think about whatever that big reason is and don't judge it. And then let's zoom out a little bit. Now, this is where Kate Lee's advice really comes in. She said get a notebook or post-it notes or index cards and start writing out everything that's important to you in a job. This can be creative freedom, financial security. Is it mission driven? Can you work on a small team? Is it a remote job? Whatever those are, write down anything and everything you can think of. She said when she did it, she wrote up to 50. So lay those out, look at them, and then start eliminating them by half, so you have 25, and then do it again and again until you're left with about 3 to 5. And these are your core values, the things that are super, super important to you in a job. And they're awesome tools to identify, because then you can start looking at companies and do your values align with that company's values? Or even in the job descriptions, you can see if they're going to align with what you really want out of a job. This gives you a lot of control in your job search, which I know can be a process that feels completely out of your control. And it's also a great way to check, not only are you good for that company, but will that company be good for you? Because you are going to be spending a lot of time working there. So you might as well feel really passionate about it and be excited to be there. And keep in mind, these values these values might change over time, and that's okay. But this is a really good opportunity to create that initial plan.
I love that. Pardon the grunt. I just aligned with it so much because that's literally something I didn't keep in mind when I was graduating from college. I was just so obsessed with finding a job that didn't really shift my mindset to consider what mattered most to me, what was most valuable to me. And I think it was a miss not really thinking that through first for my first gig.
Oh my gosh, same. I was like, just please, anyone hire me.
Help. But talking about mindsets, I want to add another one to our list, which is the importance of cultivating a growth mindset. Now, this isn't something that just new hires need or folks in the early stage of their careers need. It's something that you need throughout your entire career. So, if you're not familiar, truly listen up. Growth mindset is this idea that we're not born with a certain set of talents and skills, so we must actually acquire them. It's this understanding that anything we want to learn is truly available to us. We just have to make sure we tap into that power to master it and really devote the time in order to do so. This is, again, a very attractive practice, not only in terms of, let's say, a project or something that you're working on, but this is also something that's very important for companies. So, here are some ways you can actually develop that growth mindset. Remember, it's this desire to keep learning and growing. So, In order to truly do that, first, you must embrace challenges instead of avoiding them. This can be tough because often your mind and your body can have a certain type of reaction when you're experiencing a change. For me, I roll my eyes first, and that can't that's not good. But you have to basically shift your mind and your body to see a challenge as more of an opportunity. It's truly an opportunity to show what you've got. I can't tell you the number of times I have started working on a project and then midway through things have changed drastically. I have to adapt. I have to get better at that. And to be honest with you, when I do, managers really notice. They seem more interested in me and more interested in having me on their team. So do my coworkers. So truly try to embrace those challenges instead of avoiding them. Next, you want to persist when you're faced with setbacks. It can be tough. We often want to sit still or give up whenever we're faced with a brick wall, but tenacity is crucial. It's also important that you take inventory and see how you might be accountable in some way with that particular setback. It really helps you to assess and to see where you can improve and then to continue moving forward. Additionally, see effort as part of the process. I can't stress enough how important this is to a growth mindset. Hard work and perseverance actually make you stronger, better, more resilient. We can often look for ways to do things quicker or faster, but sometimes good old fashioned hard work is truly the solution. If you don't remember anything I say from this entire stream, remember this: learn from criticism instead of ignoring that negative feedback. Constructive criticism is one of the many experiences that have crafted me into who I am, have really helped me to develop my skills because it's valuable. We're not going to do everything right. You will make mistakes. And when someone is willing to actually share with you that feedback on how you can fix it, this truly helps you so that this failure just isn't all that you are. Additionally, they'll notice when you make that shift, when you take that information and you make the shift, they'll definitely notice. And it'll make you a really, really strong asset. Next, you have to find inspiration in the success of others without feeling threatened. One of my favorite quotes is: comparison is the thief of joy. Someone else's victory doesn't necessarily equate to my failure. So I have to learn to celebrate the wins of my peers. It also feels that much better when that victory is my own, when it's truly something that I've gained. Nothing feels better.
Absolutely. And if you're not quite sure how to go about gaining that experience or building up those skills that you want to have but you don't have quite yet, this is a really, really, really great chance for you to start working on those passion projects. What are those things that you thought of but just never fitted in between classes or internships or whatever? Is there that app that you always wanted to start? It's also a really good chance, if you don't have that idea, to volunteer with an organization you care about and build up whatever skill set it is that you feel like you're lacking. So, for example, I don't mean to get in my feelings a little bit, but I am super, super bummed and having a really hard time with the fact that Pride isn't going to be celebrated in the way we typically do. Um, so I was kind of sitting in those negative feelings, but I received an email from Out in Tech, which is an awesome organization for queer folk in tech, and they're building a team of people to help build websites for LGBTQ plus organizations and nonprofits. And I was like, heck yes, this is an opportunity for me to build my skills as a content creator, but also give back and help out and make myself feel a little better. So if there's any cause or organization that you feel really passionate about, now's a really good chance to not only help your community or help whatever cause that is, but also build up those skills. And these are going to be really good projects to bring up in interviews or to put on your resume, especially if you have a bit of a hole because that internship fell through or whatever happened. And that's about it with our professional tips. But after this short break, we'll be back with some advice for maintaining your mental health from a more emotional level. So we'll see you right after this.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Career Bound, brought to you by Built by Girls. As a community at Built by Girls, we value the whole person. We know that while you're nervous about your career path, you're also anxious about like a billion other things right now. We're all dealing with so much more than just plotting for our professional future. So, we have some advice for mentally and emotionally handling the consistent change. We have some advice for the personal side of things. So, let's start with that old familiar negativity cycle. You know what I'm talking about. You have to avoid it. Of course, it's okay to complain or to be upset and to vent to your loved ones. Like, legit, venting is straight up therapeutic. In fact, it's one of the ways that I'm getting by, and probably many of us are getting by right now. But at a certain point, it can become quite toxic and terribly consuming. At some point, your perspective has to begin to shift. Harvard Business Review research found that consistently expressing negative emotion actually hinders your natural adaptation process. So, AKA, you're making it a lot harder for yourself to go with the flow. This also means that you can lean on this complaint as an excuse. Ultimately, this complaint becomes then your story. So you have to move forward and not harp on this. What you can do is actually focus on the facts. Yes, still acknowledge you have anxiety, you have fear, you have a frustration, but then look for the practical steps you can take to no longer be that Debbie Downer. Acknowledge that the situation sucked or was unfair somehow, but then move forward, taking actions that are completely within your control. Another one I want to mention is something we often do. You should not should yourself. Don't should yourself. Right now, just getting through a single day is straight up an accomplishment. Like, if I could come to your house and give you a medal because you got out of bed or put clean underwear on or did like handled one task, I would. Because there's a lot of pressure to remain productive and use this time well. But you have to really think about and accept what you're able to do and celebrate that. If you're only able to accomplish one thing today, that is a win. Putting pressure on yourself won't help you to do any more. So, really celebrate the little things that you're able to do.
Absolutely. And a really great way to focus on those wins is to focus on the things that are within your control. Right now, I know things feel really chaotic and completely out of your control. So it's important to focus on what you're thinking, what you're doing, what's happening within your space. And a really actionable way to do this is to create a daily routine. Schedule a morning walk, or say you're going to do your journaling, or send one professional email. Whatever it is, give yourself a reason to get up. And then schedule time to work towards your larger goal a little bit each day. And finally, the last thing you should do in a day is create your bedtime routine. This is a way for you to power down and really get that sleep that's so crucial to maintaining a healthy sleep cycle. So do your skincare routine, read so you're not looking at a screen, whatever it is that helps you relax and get that good sleep. So I mentioned that you should be working towards a goal every day, but how do you set that goal? It's really important right now to set a goal that's totally dependent on you. So yes, while your main goal might be to get a job, unfortunately, that's not totally within your control. So try to set a goal that is. For example, you might want to work on your portfolio website. That's an awesome, really big goal. If you say in 6 weeks, I want my website to be done. Then what you can do is break it up into smaller, measurable, and trackable chunks. So this week, I'm going to work on my About Me page. And that's awesome because at the end of the week, you can check off you've done that About Me page and you feel really accomplished. And then hopefully, if you've mapped it out, by the end of that 6 weeks, you have a finished product. This is a crucial way for you to maintain a little sanity, make sure you feel productive, and to give your days, your weeks, and even your months some structure. But that's about it for all of our tips from Tiana and I. But after this short break, we will be hearing from an expert about protecting your energy and remaining positive during this time. So we'll be
Welcome back to Career Bound, brought to you by Built by Girls. So, you know what, Mag? I think it's important we bring in a pro because folks have been hearing a lot of tips from both the two of us. But someone who can add to this conversation and really be an expert is needed here. So, I'm going to pass the mic to Dr. Nina Vossen. She's a professor and psychiatrist at Stanford, where she runs Stanford's Lab for Medical Health Innovation. She's also a chief medical officer for Real, a new mental health company for women, redesigning care and making it more affordable, approachable, and clinically effective through their digital and IRL platforms. So, Nina, take it away.
Hey, Built by Girls. I'm Dr. Nina Vossen from Real, and I'm here to talk to you about the importance of protecting your energy during this time. I have some fabulous tips to share with you, so let's get started. Number one, celebrate saying no. Shonda Rhimes, who we all love from shows like Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, wrote a book called The Year of Yes, where she challenged herself to say yes to anything that scared her. What she explained in the book was that she was able to do this by learning how to say no to the people or things that she didn't want to do. My favorite quote of hers is, "No is a complete sentence," meaning you don't need to justify or explain yourself. Just say no and own it. Saying no is hard. I really struggle with it myself, but it's also really liberating. Number two, do you. It can be seen as indulgent to take care of yourself, but what it really should be seen as is positive, just in the way that we would view something like exercise. You know, as a doctor, I actually often write prescriptions to my patients for self-care, just like I would a medication. Personally, as a young woman and as a physician, for years I've seen so many messages around me about the importance of taking care of others. And it is really important to me. But what I've learned over the years is it's perhaps more important actually to take care of yourself first. I have some favorite self-care tips that I want to share with you. They are sleep, meditation, gratitude, and treating yourself. And I choose these because these are things I think that you should do every single day. Next, we have number three, ask for help. You know, it's important and fulfilling to help others. Altruism is awesome, but it's also really important to ask for help yourself. This is a really challenging time that we're living in right now. So take the time to ask for help and be ready to accept it from anyone, friends, family, neighbors, classmates, even strangers. Try this. Start with taking an inventory of what you need. Maybe this is financial advice, career mentorship, relationship guidance, anything. And write it down and think about who you can ask to get help for each one. When I talk about the importance of asking for help, I often hear people worry, and they worry out of fear that they're going to burden the person who they're asking. So then I always say, let's do a thought exercise. How do you feel when someone asks you for help? Most of us feel really good. We feel valued and we're happy to help that person. So chances are, if we flip that around, there's a really high likelihood that the person you're asking for help will feel that same way as well. My final note is to recommend everyone to do a self-mental health check. If you think you're having a hard time, or even if things are okay right now, but you want to learn how to feel better, ask for help from an expert like a therapist or a psychiatrist like me. You know, just as athletes will go to a personal trainer because they want to get better, you working with a professional shows that you really value your mental fitness. At Real, we talk about the importance of celebrating therapy and that working with a professional makes you strong, resilient, and healthy. It's one of the best investments you can make in yourself. And on a personal note, I'll just say that both therapy and psychiatry have helped me enormously, and I'm really grateful that I made the steps to make that a part of my life. I hope this is helpful and that you can put these tips into action as you enter this exciting new phase of your life. Congrats to all the graduates.
Wow, that was amazing. Tips on tips on tips. I know I definitely need to work on how to incorporate a little more self-care into my routine, but I'm so glad we were able to have her on and share some actual expert tips. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you spend the next week building some of those practices we talked about and hopefully feeling a little more positive and grounded. And make sure to join us next week for Career Bound, brought to you by Built by Girls, where we're going to be talking about financial advice for recent grads. So it's one you definitely do not want to miss.